Grey Goose. Please enjoy responsibly.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. Scientists have found a way to supercharge aging cells. Tony, what does that mean for us?
Tony Kornheiser, 50 more years of PTI. Up top.
50?
50. Supercharged aging cells. What do you get?
What does that mean?
I don't know. Do you get to lay down in a hyperbaric chamber and feel the supercharging and feel yourself getting younger?
You know, I started going into hyperbaric.
Have you done that really?
A couple of times.
Let me know if it works.
Yeah.
Let me know. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, the Chiefs are all but done. The Steelers top the Ravens, and the Packers beat Wilbon's Bears. But we begin today with the 12-team college football playoff. It's all set up. The big news is that 10-2 Miami is in, and 10-2 Notre Dame is out, despite Notre Dame being ranked ahead of Miami for weeks and weeks, even though Miami beat Notre Dame head-to-head. Also, 10-3 Alabama is in, despite those 3 losses and a crushing loss to Georgia in the SEC Conference Championship game on Saturday. Wilbon, as you know, I think Notre Dame got completely hosed. What do you think about the teams in the playoffs?
If Alabama had been left out instead, it wouldn't have killed them. But I understand these are close decisions. I'm about one thing. I told you this on your podcast this morning, and I mean it. Head-to-head. If Notre Dame had beat Miami, I don't care when the game was. It's only 12 of them. Put Notre Dame in. But Notre Dame didn't win that game. Miami won that game. So I don't have any problem with the team that won head-to-head. If you're not going to honor head-to-head, what the hell? Then what are you going to honor other than on-the-field competition? I don't care about voting and popularity. We'll get back. I'm going to let you get to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Because I'm mad now. Earlier, I wasn't angry. I told you on the podcast this morning it was just about head-to-head. It was. But now Notre Dame has the nerve to come out and criticize the ACC. The nerve when they cozy up to the ACC for their purposes and their benefit over the years. They've won every popularity contest in the history of man. They got the whole world stumping for them, and now they want to whine to the ACC. They're lucky I'm not Jim Phillips, because a statement I would have released would have crushed them forever.
I'll ask you a question. I thought you were going to hold off until I spoke,
sorry.
But you went.
Now you got the stage.
Now I got the floor.
Now you got it.
Okay, so give me a little time here.
So
the villain in the piece is Virginia. If Virginia had beaten Duke, none of this happened.
That's right.
Virginia gets in. Oh. James Madison is out, and Miami's probably out because an ACC team gets in.
That's right.
And Notre Dame
the committee wanted to put an ACC team in.
Okay.
You agree
so
with that,
when
right?
Duke beats Virginia, the committee understands they can't put Duke in with 5 losses. But most of the people on the committee, most of them are ADs and coaches. And they know ADs all around the country, and they don't want to embarrass the ACC. No, the ACC's big-time conference, so they want to make sure an ACC team gets in, so they put in Miami because they can't put in Virginia. This is the same group of people who week after week after week separated Notre Dame from Miami, even though it may have been wrong, but that's what they did week after week. I know. So you can ask this question fairly. What did Miami do last week to move ahead of Notre Dame? The answer is nothing, because they didn't play.
Committee
now,
members got members.
Let me get to head-to-head.
August.
Let me get to head-to-head. And I understand it. Miami played a home game against Notre Dame, beat them by 3 points. That's not a crushing defeat. 3 points. That was in August. It is now December. Since then, Notre Dame won 10 games in a row, and Miami lost 2 games to weaker opponents, unranked opponents. Notre Dame's losses are far better because 2 teams are in the tournament.
Beat?
What?
Who they beat?
Miami's
got more impressive victories than Notre Dame.
Well, they have the victory they have that's more impressive is Notre Dame. Is Notre Dame. I honestly think that Notre Dame got hosed because they're not in a conference, really. They play footsie with a conference.
They cozy up when it benefits them.
They're not really in it.
And then criticize them today.
I understand that.
Hypocritical.
Let me go to Alabama.
Is what they
Alabama's important in this. They're important.
We both have maybe left them
out. They could have left Alabama out. Alabama has 3 losses, including a terrible loss to Georgia. I mean, they got destroyed. But the committee anticipated that. They put Alabama ahead of Notre Dame for no apparent reason to tell everybody, if you get to a conference championship game, we're not going to boot you because you're playing in it, whereas A&M and Oklahoma, they're not playing in it.
Let me ask you one quick thing before we move on.
Yes.
Head-to-head. I know you for a long time. You believe in what happens in the field of play.
I do. I do. But I think there's some nuance to it. because it happened so long ago.
Wasn't that long ago? So this
August.
football season's only 4 months long.
It was August.
August, the last
Have
day.
you-
September, October, November. That's it. That's all they got.
December. Have you been outside lately? It's freezing.
I was outside in
It's
Chicago
different than
lately.
August.
By the way,
move
by
on.
the way, how hypocritical is Notre Dame? Let me, the ACC, as long as I get my paycheck and then behave like this.
To be fair,
Notre
to
Dame.
be fair, you've hated Notre Dame your
And
whole
you
life.
loved them, and you stumped for them. I admit
You
to
hate them.
Now I hate them today. I'm glad they're home. I'm glad they're going nowhere. No playoffs.
The show is
no
going
bowl
to
game.
end. We're not doing any
Get
more
out.
stories.
Get out,
No, because
Notre
you're just
Dame.
going on and on and on.
Please.
You hate them.
I do hate them.
Go ahead.
Today more than ever.
Read.
And I got reason.
Read.
And I got support.
Read.
Huh? Hate Notre Dame. Yeah, boo. Move to the
Go.
AFC now. The Steelers beat the Ravens in Baltimore to move atop the AFC North. Jaguars beat the Colts to take control of the AFC South in a game. Daniel Jones injured his Achilles out for the season. The Texans are game back after beating the Chiefs last night, sending them all but out of the playoffs. And the Bills beat the Bengals ahead of Buffalo's big showdown at New England Sunday. Which AFC team then had the biggest win?
It's not the biggest win, it's the biggest loss. Kansas City had the biggest loss.
All right.
Kansas City is now out of, they're not getting in the playoffs for the first time since, 2014.
11
And
years.
in the interim, they won 3 Super Bowls and they were in 5. So much for your years of dynasty of 1, because they had a real dynasty.
They had a great run.
They had a real dynasty. Every time I've watched Kansas City this year and they've lost, it's the same thing. Patrick Mahomes throws a perfect pass and somebody drops it.
My God.
Drop after drop after
22 drops. It seems more like that this season.
Drop after drop after drop. So now Andy Reid has to figure out how to retool that team, and he also has to figure out, does he want to keep coaching? If you ask me what is the biggest win, I'm going to go pretty much off the board where you're concerned. I actually think it might be Buffalo, because Joe Burrow was having his way with them until those 2 crazy back-to-back interceptions.
Yeah.
And then, now it's snowing, the weather is awful. Josh Allen takes over the game. Josh Allen gives an MVP performance, and maybe the Bills found something.
I don't disagree with you on either one of those points. Kansas City's the big story in the AFC. These guys are worthy, long-time, dominant, impressive, charismatic
What do you think
champions.
he used them? What do you think he used them?
Well, they don't have much in the way of offense. They remind me a lot of my Bears teams. They'll hit you in the mouth. How about the hitting in that game last night? The popping in that game. Things were flying off people's helmets last night.
I don't want to be accused of recency bias, but
Right.
when I watched that, I honestly thought that could be a Super Bowl team. They have held, I think in succession, Buffalo, Indianapolis, and Kansas City to a total
Can
of
they score
45. If you're holding somebody at 15, you only have to score.
But I'm going to agree with you on the
18.
other point, too. I thought Buffalo reestablishing itself, if that's what they did. They weren't home, but Cincinnati, you thought Joe Burrow was going to deliver.
I was going to win it.
And it did. I was starting to sway.
I was gonna win
It
it.
looked like he was. And he has these bizarre interceptions that.
What did you think of Pittsburgh and Baltimore?
Baltimore is done too. I think they are. And here's why. One, for 6 to 8 weeks, I thought Lamar Jackson is not that Lamar Jackson.
You can see it.
Maybe he will be again next year.
Not now.
maybe.
Not now.
But not now.
Not now.
And I don't think they're good enough.
Not now.
And I don't think Pittsburgh's good enough either. So
No.
I'm kind of sliding.
But it quiets the drumbeat about Mike Tomlin a little bit. And Aaron Rodgers was
does.
good. Aaron Rodgers was very good in that game. He was very
The call
good.
against the Ravens, is that a touchdown or not?
I didn't think it was. Did you?
It's a hard one.
I didn't.
I kind of thought it was, but I could be swayed on that.
And Indianapolis, which started out, they're done. They're
No, wait.
done.
Okay, maybe this rookie from Notre Dame,
No.
I can root for him because he ain't there. Maybe he's pretty good. Maybe he can hold the fort. They're not out of it.
It looks they're trending out of it. Let's move now to the NFC and talk about impressive wins yesterday. The Rams crushed Arizona 45-17 in Arizona. The Packers held on and beat the Bears on the last meaningful play of the game with an interception in the end zone, 28-21. And the Saints, who'd only won twice all year, beat Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay 24-20 to knock the Bucs down to a tie for first place in their division with idle Carolina. Wilbon, whose win was most impressive?
Packers. And if those two plays had gone differently at the end, a touchdown and a two-point conversion, I would say the Bears. That game, that was a game worthy of all the hype all week and worthy of the oldest rivalry in the National Football League, 100 years old. I obviously, I didn't want to talk to anybody for about 2 hours after the end of that game. The Packers look like they're ready to challenge. And they're further along in their evolution than the Bears and Caleb Williams, Love and versus Williams.
Yeah.
And they won that game at home. That game, they're going to run that back in 13 days. Actually, it's a Saturday night primetime game in Soldier Field, where I'm hoping for a different result. But the Packers played really well. Whenever the Bears came, they had that 17-play drive the Bears did, which was really impressive, and they knocked the Packers back in the end zone, hit them in the mouth, and the Packers answered. And that game had everything you could ask for. Obviously, I want the different last pass. Caleb's got to throw it earlier and higher. 2 seconds later, Komet was open, or run the ball. I would have run the ball. But that game had everything.
Yeah, it also had the winner that's always the winner. It's 12 of the last 13, 30 of the last 36. So you don't have to be Aaron Rodgers to own the Bears. You can be Jordan Love and own the Bears. I'll make the case for the other two things just briefly. I'll start out with the Saints, because they're a terrible team. They were 1-5 on the road, and they win this game against Tampa Bay, who I thought was a good team, and they have faded, and their only chance now is they have 2 games head-to-head with Carolina. So we'll see what they can do in that. And the other game, the Rams reestablished themselves as the #1 seed in the NFC. But this is the point I want to make, because they had lost to Carolina. Matthew Stafford had thrown 2 picks and made a fumble. And then they rushed. What did they get here? 249 yards. But, and there's always a but, Arizona is simply nothing.
Homecoming team.
They're absolutely nothing. I told you this morning, that I watched the Bears and the Packers, and I thought, the Bears are a playoff team. Whether you had any doubts at all in the first 12 games as what their schedule was and how they were winning, they're a playoff team. They put on their big boy pants. That was a really good game. My disagreement with you, which we hashed out this morning, is I wondered, did the Bears use the timeouts correctly at the end of the game? And why didn't they go to the end zone more than once?
We didn't want to stop the clock. We can't stop anybody.
Right.
We couldn't stop the Packers in the 2 drives where we needed a turnover or a stop. So, no, they played that right, except the call I don't like. And I love Ben Johnson. I love everything he's done. Right. I'm running the ball. I just ran the ball down their throats. Yeah. I'm not going to put that in the air when I can run it in Green Bay in that situation. But I'm in a better mood.
Let's take a break. Still to come, the Browns botched a game-tying 2 out of the Wildcats. Should Shedeur Sanders have been on the field?
Where was he? Jeff Kemp makes a Hall of Fame.
It is time for the missives from the Minions in mail time. I'll put on my glasses to read the first one.
Mail time!
Should Shedeur Sanders have been on the field for the Browns' bid to tie the Titans?
Yes, absolutely. He should be on the field. I mean, there's at least a threat of running a fuller play package, which involves passing the ball for real. I understand that Cleveland has run these wildcat formations, and particularly in 2. Fine, run it all you want. But have Shedeur Sanders on the field. Is this that hard?
I was taken aback by this.
That he wasn't, yeah.
When I saw the Wildcat, which turned out to be a terrible play.
They made it work, though.
In the past, they've made it work, but it didn't work this time. I mean, I want Shedeur Sanders as an option because to that point, he had thrown for 364 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he had run one in. So if I was a coach with that information in front of me on a clipboard, I would think Shedeur Sanders would be out there. The play was terrible. It was awful. The Wildcat went backwards instead of forwards. Yeah. The pass was what it was a clinic on why not to call that play.
And if the coach has to have a clipboard to remember that his rookie quarterback has accounted for 4 touchdowns in that game when they stink, then he needs to be fired.
You know the result of this, don't you? Shedeur Sanders was named today as the starter the rest of the way, and I think he's earned that at this point. Wait, you want to fire the coach? Oh, come on.
I'm exaggerating.